You guys want a story? Let me give you guys a story. Machado Garry, all right, came off a huge victory over Belal Muhammad at UFC Qatar. He might have just pulled off the biggest rankings jump of the entire year. And again, he did it with that beautiful knockout. What a finish, guys. What a finish. Pure dominance. And the crazy part is he actually might be next in line for Islam Makhachev. We got to talk about this, guys, because this one is going to start to change a lot of what we know about the division, about the rankings, and about, I guess, who's in the pecking order, who's most deserving of an opportunity to take on the newly crowned, newly minted champion of the world, Islam Makhachev. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome to Duality 7X. I'm your host, Shiraz. If you're new here, we break down all the hottest and trending stories when it comes to the world of MMA, UFC, boxing, and the WWE. Laid back vibes, guys, all around. Real opinions and a whole lot of fight talk. If that's what you're here for, then you guys are definitely at the right place. Please make sure to smash the like and subscribe and hit the bell notification so you never miss a beat. Let's get right into it, guys. So UFC Qatar wrapped up. Okay, everybody, guys, people are still buzzing online about how incredible of a card it was. But the rankings just got updated. And guess what, guys? Machado Garry. There's a lot of drama surrounding this dude. We'll talk about that. But he just exploded up the welterweight ladder. He went and he was like, okay, so he was ranked, I think, around 6th. And now he's sitting at number 2. That's a huge jump. Okay? It's not a regular bump, guys. That's UFC ultimately clearly telling us something because of that move. All right? He beat Belal Muhammad by unanimous decision. Clean, confident, composed. This guy walked in and he was just all business. Not flashy. He was effective. And honestly, he was considering how much heat he had to bring. And he just brought enough spice to be able to get pretty much walk out. And he walked out in dominant fashion. This is typical Garry, guys. He walks in, he does what he has to do. He walks a big talk. He talks a big talk. He walks with a big stick. And you know what? Even after the fight in the hallways, backstage, he ran into Hamza Shemaev, and it looked like they were kind of embracing one another, kind of like, hey guy, what's up? Congratulations. And all of a sudden, these guys almost ended up in a fist fight. Right? This guy is strategic. He's tactical. He's calculated. He's he's the kind of guy, he's gonna walk in, and you know what? If you're a betting man, you're most often the case, you're probably gonna be safe with going with Ian Machado Garry. And he can show, he's proven to everybody that he can win fights, and he can win fights in many different ways. Right? This guy, when I keep referring to fighters with a lot of tools, and what tool are they going to pull out of their tool belt? What kind of resources they have available to them? Their fight IQ. This guy has it all, and he's got more tools and bigger tools than most people do. So you got to be very, very careful if you're ever going to want to bet against this guy. But here's where it gets interesting. While Ian Machado Garry manhandled Belal Muhammad, that is that's a rarity to even talk like that in the same sentence. Somebody manhandling Belal Muhammad. You have to understand, guys, Belal Muhammad, no excuses. He had a pretty good camp. He felt very comfortable. He was training in Qatar. He had his team with him, and he felt really good. He felt really good about himself. He felt really good about his chances going into the fight against Garry, and it was a completely one-sided performance. Now, that's not putting Belal Muhammad down. That just tells you the level of the caliber that Ian Machado Garry is at. Belal Muhammad will come back. He definitely has some soul searching to do. He's got to get back to the drawing board. He's got to figure out where and what he needs to, where he went wrong, what he needs to do to be able to get back into contention. At least start with a couple fights and kind of go from there. But right now, the gears have shifted. The focus is not on Belal Muhammad. The focus is on Ian Machado Garry. All right? And yeah, you know, when I was thinking about UFC Qatar, I'm thinking about Carlos Prates, I'm thinking about Michael Morales, I'm thinking about, there was a lot of jaw-dropping moments, guys. Highlight reel knockouts. I mean, these dudes are all making statements, and yet somehow Machado Garry leapfrogs everybody, including guy Shavkat Rakhmonov, the only guy who actually gave Garry a real serious battle last year. And now he's literally one spot behind Jack Della Maddalena. And guys, come on. The UFC clearly sees the future as someone they're ready to push, right? And here's the big twist, guys. And this is the reason why everybody's talking about this. Garry is at number 2 in the welterweight division. And people are asking if he might even skip the line and somehow end up fighting Islam Makhachev. Like, why? I'll tell you why. Because Islam is running out of legit contenders to fight. And look, if there's anything about Makhachev, I'll tell you, he's not about wasting his time with just whatever comes his way. He's not going to put in the time and the effort and everything that goes into training, conditioning, you know, all the prepping, pre-fight prepping that goes into what a fighter needs to do to be able to be successful, all just to fight some random fighter. If he's going to fight, he wants challenge. He wants to continuously challenge himself. So why not is the question. Why not Ian Machado Garry? All right? I mean, there's a lot of players, guys. There's a lot of other good fighters we can talk about. Just don't forget, you know, and any one of these guys can easily move up, move down. I mean, there's some serious contention. So there's a lot of contenders, and there's a lot of people who are taking names, and they want that opportunity. They want to fight Makhachev. But Garry, he's been quiet, very strategic. This dude, honestly, he doesn't really go off the deep end. I mean, yeah, he's loud, but he's I mean, it's a different kind of a loud, right? Like, I mean, he can get under your skin. He totally can. I mean, somehow, some way, he pissed off Khamzat. I don't know what happened there, guys. I still don't know. These guys look like they were very cordial with one another, at least respectful, and all of a sudden, Khamzat just smashes him, like, well, not smashes him. He pushed him hard, like in the chest area, and you could see Machado kind of went back a little bit, and then they just started beaking off at one another. I don't know. It was just crazy, guys. I mean, you know what? This is the fight industry. This is what's going to happen. But seriously, like WTF, guys, what the F is going on? And look, honestly, this guy, Garry, is one fight away from a title shot. Whether that's at 170 or 155. Man, he goes up to 170, then he'll be ringing the doorbell to Khamzat. Right? Actually, Khamzat, sorry, it's at 185. My apologies. He's still a little ways away from there, right? But I mean, you have guys like Arman Sakurian, you got Ilya Topuria. You got a lot of really good fighters, guys. So the question comes down to is, I mean, right now, Arman Sarukian is trying to lock down his number 1 contender spot by his unbelievable one-sided victory over Dan Hooker at UFC Qatar, right? So now the lightweight picture, and we've been alluding to this a lot, guys, is really starting to take shape. So I personally think that Garry fighting Islam isn't as crazy as a lot of people pretend pretend it is, because that fight could actually legitimately make sense. And UFC, they love a good fight, and they like the marketing. They don't just want to throw fillers, into a, if they're gonna do it, they're gonna go big. So Islam's got to get ready, because I think there's a strong possibility that Gary may not even have to have that. His next fight could be Islam Makhachev. And it really all depends. I mean, it's kind of like this. It's almost like a UFC algorithm of sorts, right? I mean, depending on the fan meter and what people are saying, the UFC listens. The UFC is one of those organizations that listens to the buzz that's going on in social media. It listens to its fan base. And the UFC, they like to deliver. They like their fan base. They want to make them happy. They want to keep them happy. They want to keep them fed. And I think what a lot of people are, kind of leaning towards is like a big fight between Machado Garry and Makhachev. Can you imagine, guys? Can you imagine that fight? But what about Paddy the Baddy? What about Paddy Pimblett? There are so many fighters. This is what makes it really confusing for me, because who deserves, the question really comes down to is who really deserves a title shot. But yes, that's one thing. We got to look at it like that. But the other thing is, who do you want to see fight? Right? Who really deserves it, and then who do you really want to see fight? Who really deserves it may not really make for the most entertaining, create the most buzz on social media. But who you guys want to see, if the consensus leans in majority of a particular fighter, like in this case, Ian Machado Garry versus Islam Makhachev, UFC is going to listen to that. Right? Ireland versus Dagestan. Drama. They'll make it happen. I could already see that being played out in the marketing buzz. I mean, the UFC's done weirder things, guys, but if they want star power, if they want storylines, I think that's great storyline to start with. I can imagine Khamzat Chimaev, the Muslim Brotherhood, and all these guys that kind of hang with these Dagestan greats like Islam Makhachev and stuff. They're all ringside. So I still think Gary needs one more test, right? I mean, I'd like to see him fight Islam, but I think one more fight maybe, and then perhaps maybe we're looking at a UFC fight night. What? The White House? What? Maybe. Could be Jack Della Maddalena. Now, look, Jack, Islam Makhachev just tore apart Jack Della Maddalena, okay? That's not even no surprise. I mean, I knew Islam was going to win. I just didn't realize it was going to be that one-sided. So this could be an opportunity for Jack to come back and to prove that his name should still be in the mix. And what a great opportunity. Take on one of the best rising stars in the company. If Jack wants his name in lights, if he wants people to remember him, if he wants his name to continue to be in the mix, then go for the best. Go for Ian Machado Garry. He comes out of that, then holy schmoly, guys. Now he changes. The whole division, the conversation is going to be completely, we're going to have a civil, I don't want to say those words, but we're going to have a lot of problems, guys. And not problems, but there's going to be a lot of arguments, a lot of back and forth, a lot of people on so many different sides, everybody expressing their opinions, and it's going to be one confusing mess. But it'll be a beautiful mess. And it'll be great for Jack Della Maddalena, because now he could show to the world he still got it, and he's still in the mix. But that's a huge hill to climb. That's like going on a mission that you got a one-way ticket. Chances are you're not coming back. So if he could pull it off, wow. But on the flip side, if Machado Garry just dismantles Jack Della Maddalena, that's it. It's done. Jack's out. I think he'd be out of the UFC. I mean, maybe, I don't know. But I mean, two big losses in a row. I don't know. But what would that do for, what would that do for Gary? What would that do for his star power? Then you see the ultimate showdown between him and Makhachev. Right? New fame versus legacy. What a fight that would be. That could be a good fight. But guys, don't forget about Shavkat Rakhmonov. Shavkat is like, hey guys, remember me? Yeah, I was the guy that gave Ian Machado Garry the hardest time ever. No other fighter has been able to do what Shavkat did. So for all of us to be talking about all these other guys and not really talking about him doesn't really do any justice to his skill sets, to what he is, to what he can do, and his ability to perform at a very top level. Now that could be a real #1 contender fight. Shavkat taking on Ian Machado Garry part 2. And then the Makhachev discussions will become real, right? So if you want to mess around, guys, if you want to do some speculating, the what if, we always like to play the what if game around this time. If Ian Machado Garry actually gets the call for Islam, it becomes probably one of the most watched UFC pressers instantly. I probably get like in the tens of thousands of views just by doing like a little clip on that. Right? And this is the kind of, like, Islam will finally get that real challenger, that real, he always wants a challenge, right? He always complains he wants to be challenged. This would be a challenge to the highest level. And this is the kind of buzz that it wouldn't just resonate domestically. We're talking about global media hype, global media coverage. If Gary pulls off an upset here, guys, that's it. The UFC would go complete nuclear. People would be like, what the heck is going on? There'd be no choice for Khamzat to either come down in weight or for Gary to go up in weight and to just lock horns. And then Ireland becomes the center of the world of MMA like that overnight. If Gary fights Della Maddalena, what would that look like? I mean, somebody's hype train is going to get pretty much derailed, right? Winner gets the ultimate marketing push. This is a fight that Jack needs. This is a fight that Jack needs to still remain in the mix. He doesn't want people to forget what he's done, his abilities in the ring, in the octagon, his capabilities, his skill set, all that could go completely right down the tubes with the loss against Machado Garry. But can you imagine the hype that this fight would generate? I mean, it sets up a huge, clear narrative for what's to come potentially in 2026, right? And then if Shavkat, if he returns and he demands his spot back, well, that's 5 rounds of insane hell that people are going to pay big money to watch. Okay? So if I were to wrap things up, guys, here, like, the rankings honestly are telling a huge story, and that story is that Ian Machado Garry is officially in the fast lane. Here's a guy who comes out of the gate super strong, super fast, and he doesn't take his foot off the pedal. All right? Like, he's kind of like in that Merab, Fashvili, Arman. He's in the status guys. Like, right now, he's kind of like Islam Makhachev is right now the guy to beat, but so is Ian Machado Garry. And I think he's gonna probably take that fight against Jack Della Maddalena if it happens. And I think that's realistically a fight that could potentially happen, because I mean, if you just give Gary an opportunity to fight for the belt, to fight Islam Makhachev, there's going to be a lot of people talking a lot of conspiracy theories and favoritism, biasness, of UFC. And I don't think Dana wants that. So I think he will give Gary another fight, and I think that fight's going to be a big fight. I don't know if it's really going to be Shavkat. I think it's going to be Jack Della Maddalena. I really don't know what's going on with Rakhmonov right now, but we'll have to see. But right now, Gary's in a fast lane. He's young. He's polarizing. He's marketable. He's unhinged, man. He's kind of like a Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. And he just beat a guy nobody beats easily. Belal Muhammad is a serious elite fighter. And unfortunately for Belal, he had to fight a rising star who just had nothing but momentum riding his coattails. He was kind of like a comet, a very hot to touch kind of a guy that it was just bad luck for him. But who's going to stop this locomotive? Who's going to stop this train? I mean, yeah, I think he will fight Islam Makhachev, but just not right now. Not yet. One more fight, guys. And this is the most interesting the welterweight division has felt in quite some time. I think you guys can attest to that. So let me know what you guys think. Who do you think Gary should fight next? Is it Islam Makhachev? Or do you think realistically it's either going to be Jack Della Maddalena or Shavkat Rakhmonov? Drop your comments and picks, guys, below. Let me know what you guys think. I'm curious to know who everyone's siding on. And if you guys enjoy this real fight talk, please make sure to subscribe. Join us here on Duality 7X for more fight talk, for more breakdowns, and more of the biggest stories when it comes to the world of MMA. We're growing fast, guys. You don't want to miss out. Please hit the bell notification so you never miss a beat. I enjoyed my time with you guys, and I look forward to catching you guys on the next one.